Nintendo had a crazy week last week. Last Wednesday, at their Nintendo Direct, they announced Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance, which I already made a video about. But they also announced Metroid Prime Remastered. I went crazy in the live stream.
Plus expansion
Bravo, bravo, about time, Nintendo.
Let's see a few more headlines.
Alright, better go up more uphill. Keep going. Metroid Prime, let's go! Oh man! Metroid Prime is one of the best first-person games ever made. It's actually the best first-person game ever made. If you don't believe it, well, you're lying to yourselves, because Metroid Prime is the best first-person game ever made. So what is Metroid Prime? Metroid Prime is a first-person shooter action-adventure game. Basically, you take the role of Samus. This takes place after the original Metroid, where you're on the planet Talon 4, and you're basically just looking to figure out what happened on the planet and trying to go ahead and catch up to your pirate friends and investigating what's going on there. Honestly, when I first played Metroid Prime, it was out of this world. I mean, the graphics were amazing on GameCube, just everything about it was amazing. Fast forward to today, and the remaster just makes everything look even so much better. It's honestly, in my opinion, the best looking game on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, when you compare it to a lot of other games, including Breath of the Wild, this game is amazing. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff going on in it. Your lighting effects, your particle effects, everything out there just looks so much better than it did before. And when I first saw it on the Nintendo Direct, I was honestly worried, because I was like, isn't this the way it already was? I thought it was just a simple port, but when you actually look at the game and actually get it and you see side-by-side comparisons, then you start to realize, wow, it did not look that good. Well, let me rephrase that. It looked great for the time, and it was still probably one of the best looking games at that time. But holy cow, did they upgrade their graphics overall. Now, what makes this stand out from a lot of other first-person games is just the mechanics of it. It is a Metroid game, therefore you do know that you're going to be exploring areas, and there's going to be a lot of backtracking. But what made this special is just the movement in first person. You see, at the time when first-person shooter games were coming out, they were basically very generic. They were all level-based. It was kind of go forward, go straight, and that's it. Think, GoldenEye, or even Halo for the most part, where it's just kind of very linear. You might have some open spaces, but for the most part, it's moving forward. Metroid Prime, on the other hand, changed things up and made things a little bit different. There was a lot of exploration. There was hidden missile upgrades or hidden energy upgrades all over the area. They used key features such as sound to kind of help you know or give you hints of where hidden objects were, and you just kind of had to guess from there on out and figure out what to do. A lot of stuff that was actually hidden there you probably couldn't do when you first spotted it, so you had to remember and actually backtrack when you've got a different power-up. But that was another thing that made it interesting. In order to explore the whole area, you actually had to find different power-ups. A lot of places were blocked off because you didn't have certain power-ups. Once you got those power-ups, you were able to go back and it would open up a brand new area in the map, which was very, very fun and very interesting to find. Honestly, this was actually, after I played Metroid Prime, this is what I hoped Halo would kind of follow. Right? Because I like Halo, I like the world of Halo, and I enjoyed the Halo games and the multiplayer. But when it came to the campaign, outside of the story, I just felt the campaigns were just very flat. It was just run and gun. It would be very neat if Halo followed that, and they tried to do it with Halo Infinite, just not to the extent. I mean, even in Halo Infinite, there's like minor puzzles in there, and when you solve the puzzle, you hear like a little sound effect, kind of the same thing that happens with Metroid Prime. And I'm not gonna lie, every time I solved a small puzzle and that sound effect would come on, the sound effect that would come in my head was actually the Metroid Prime sound effect. Which, fun fact, I'm pretty sure they took a cue from Zelda, because every time you solve a puzzle in Zelda, you also get that little sound effect to cue that you solved the puzzle. Now, we can't talk about this remaster without talking about the rumors. So going back, similar to what I said about my video with the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, this was actually rumored last year. I remember listening to podcasts and people talking about somebody named Jeff Grubb, and then you have Nate the Hate, who's part of the Spawnway podcast. They had discussed it and pretty much stated that Nintendo was working on a Metroid Trilogy remaster, but later on changed their mind and decided to work solely on Metroid Prime Remaster. And man, did they go all out. Now, according to Jeff Grubb, it looks like that Metroid Prime 2 and 3 is still coming out in the future. It just won't be a big remaster such as this. These are going to be more of a straight port with probably updated camera controls such as this, but as far as like graphical design, they're not going to have those big graphical upgrades, which to me I'm kind of saddened by. I really do hope that they go ahead and do those same graphical upgrades, because a lot can be done in Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 3, and honestly, Metroid Prime 3 was already an amazing looking game. I would be very excited to see what they would do with that. Metroid Prime 3 I know is probably, I think most people don't like it, but I like it. Like I love the game. I thought it was pretty neat with the Wii remote to use like the grappling hook. You got to go ahead and throw your left hand and then, you know, kind of pull yourself and stuff like that. I love the mechanics of it. I get it. It was tiring because sometimes you come from work, or in my case, I was in college, so like come from school, I was like, man, I really don't want to sit on my bed or stand up and have to play. But nonetheless, it was an amazing game overall, and I'm very excited to play that. Let's just hope that Retro Studios, or whoever they pass it to, whether it's Iron Galaxy or somebody, let's just hope that they go ahead and, you know, update it just like Metroid Prime Remaster. But yeah, going back to those rumors, it was rumored last year, and I think kind of what we're all thinking now is, now that they released Metroid Prime Remastered, maybe they're ready to show off Metroid Prime 4. Is this just a marketing spiel of coming out with all the great stuff there? I mean, I guess we don't know. But that is my theory on that. Yeah, anyways, if you haven't played Metroid Prime, I highly recommend this game. It's only $40, and honestly, that is for the digital version or the physical version. The physical version does come out February 22nd, so if you do collect physical copies, you can go ahead and get it there. If you don't want to wait, you can buy it digitally right now, which that's what I did. I decided to buy it digitally right now, and yep, I will be buying the physical version as well. I know a lot of people who did the same thing. We just couldn't wait, and I think Nintendo knew that all along. They're like, yeah, these guys, they can't wait. They're going to go ahead and buy it. They're going to buy it again. So technically, they released Metroid Prime Remaster at $80 and not $40. But yeah, let me know what you think about Metroid Prime. If you haven't played it, highly recommend it. It's well worth it. Like I said, it is the best first-person game out there. Don't at me, because you know I'm right. If you don't agree with me, go ahead and leave a comment below. We can go ahead and have a discussion. I mean, we're all entitled to wrong opinions, but Metroid Prime is the best game. I'm just playing with everyone. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch. And don't forget to go ahead and watch our podcast every Sunday, where we do a lot of gaming content, such as gaming news that we talk about. And we try to have our random encounters, aka our guests, available every Sunday. My name is James from the Random Encounter, and we will see you next time.